Hey guys, well, I have really much nothing better to do on Saturday night except spend it with you, my beloved folks. So I want to tell you, this past week we have been doing some pretty heavy video work and the response has been phenomenal. And I want to tell you that from a personal standpoint, how much I enjoy helping new folks out and getting good information into folks and seeing the results. Pretty awesome stuff. So here recently, because of Forged in Fire and a lot of the places that I've been posting, there's been a ton of you new makers that have come out and asked particular questions about some of the knives that you have been making. Let me tell you, I love to see the knives that you're making. It really warms my heart because people are getting out there and they're doing this craft. Man, that is super awesome. And and to think that I may have had a small part in helping some of these folks out, it's really awesome stuff. However, let me tell you a quick story. When I was a young man, many moons ago, and I was making my first knife, there was this gentleman that I admired very much. He was a maker, a very good maker, and I took one of my knives and I made the mistake of going to him and saying, "Man, hey, what do you think of my knife?" And in my mind, what this guy that I looked up to, that I respected, that I considered a few steps under God to say was, "Man, that is great. You did that. That is a great place to start." That was what was in my mind. What I got was an honest assessment of my knife. Now, the end result was not pretty in any shape, form, or fashion. The man made an honest assessment. And to sum up, he looked at it and said, this is a piece of dookie. That is hard for a young man to take. So allow my experience to spare you that grief. If you are going to contact a professional maker, if you're going to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, do not send them a picture of the knife and say, "What's wrong with this knife?" or "What do you think of this?" because you're probably going to get your feelings hurt. Now, the problem is that most knife makers are great guys. There are some booty holes out there. So depending, you're rolling the dice already. Is he a good guy or is he a booty hole? Okay, let's assume he's a good guy. You put him in a really funky position because at this point, he either has to give you an honest assessment, which isn't going to be pretty, or he has to give you a bunch of platitudes. And that means he's lying to you just to spare your feelings. And as somebody that's there to learn something, neither of these answers are going to do you a whole lot of good. One's going to give you a path to get better, but it's really going to bum you out and may start a fist fight. The other end is going to make you feel good, but it's not going to move you anywhere further. So, how do you avoid all this? Pretty simple. Ask specifics. If you want to talk to somebody and say, "Hey, look, this is one of my knives. This is where I'm at. This is a good representation of my skill level. Where would you suggest I start improving?" That is a question that we can answer and answer honestly and help you move forward. I can then say, "Hey, look, your finish, your sanding needs to be worked on." Or I can say, "Your bevel need to be worked on." Or if I can, if I can lick it and taste it, I say, "You need a different type of steel. Don't use a railroad spike knife." When you ask that type of specific question professional, we can answer very honestly and very friendly. However, if you go, "What do you think about that?" and we're looking at going, "Ooh, that's dookie," it's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to upset you. That's not what we're here for. But you ask me on a question, there's no reason for that. Ask specifics. Is the fit and finish right? Is this a good design? Is this a nice sheath? Ask these very specific questions and you will get very specific answers that will help you move forward in your path as a knife maker and keep you away from stung feelings and booty holes alike. Hope you guys have a good evening.